They didn't show up for my son's birthday, but somehow the bill came anyway. I threw a party for my 10-year-old son and invited my family. Nobody came. A week later, Mom sent an invite. My niece's sweet 16. $2,100 per person. Venmo me, she said. Not even a sorry. So I sent $1 with a note. Congratulations. Then I changed the locks. Blocked the number. 2 days later, the police showed up at my door. My name's Evan. I'm 33, a single dad. I fix networks for a living and make lists for fun. I know where every dollar goes. I can tell you the price of a gallon of milk in 3 stores and which one restocks the 12-pack of juice boxes on Tuesdays. My son Leo is 10. He loves Lego, hates olives, and thinks I'm a wizard because I can untangle cords without swearing. We live in a small rental with a lean backyard and a grill I rescued from the curb. My family lives 20 minutes away, which in my head always meant close. It didn't. Leo's birthday Saturday started simple. Blue streamers, a Costco sheet cake with Leo level 10 in pixel font. I rented one of those inflatable soccer goals and borrowed folding chairs from a neighbor. 6 of his classmates showed up. The street smelled like sunscreen and charcoal. I kept checking my phone. Mom will be here. Courtney, of course. Aunt Coco with party favors. Nate after the gym. I lined up little water bottles on the porch rail and taped a trash bag to the fence so the yard wouldn't look like a landfill. Every 20 minutes, I checked the family chat. Nothing. When the pizza arrived, I told the driver, "Could you wait a second?" Maybe a line of cars would pull up. He looked over my shoulder at the tiny crowd and said, "You're good." 2 o'clock turned to 3. The sun moved. Kids kicked off their shoes and took turns at the goal. The neighbor across the street carried over an extra cooler. "Full house," she said. I smiled like my face was made of wood. At 3:11 p.m., my phone buzzed. "Don't be dramatic," my mother wrote. "It's just a kid's party. Just a kid's party." I read it twice because my brain rejected it the first time. Not late, not stuck, not happy birthday, baby. Just that line like a slap. I stood next to a bowl of orange slices, and the words crawled under my skin and stayed there. Leo jogged over, cheeks red, hair stuck to his forehead. "Dad, can we cut the cake? Can we sing?" "Of course," I said. "Gather everybody." We sang. He blew out the candles in one breath. He'd been practicing. Grinning with frosting on his lip, I clapped like a seal. Then I stepped inside to the kitchen to rinse the knife and breathe where nobody could see me. The screen door squeaked. A new group chat bubble popped up. Dots blinking like a heartbeat. Courtney's message. We'll catch the next one. Today's insane. A photo hit my lock screen. Brunch, mimosas. Caption self-care Sunday on a Saturday with my people. Mom in the corner. Sunglasses on, holding a flute of champagne. Nate's arm around their chairs. The tattoo I helped pay for, snug on his arm. I stood there with a wet knife, a cake behind me, and a 10-year-old who still believed adults said what they meant. The house smelled like sugar and dish soap. Somebody outside yelled, "Go!" A cheer went up. I put the knife down, wiped my hands on a towel, handed out plates, and I didn't say a word about the empty chairs. Not one. When the last kid left, Leo and I sat in quiet and built the spaceship he'd unwrapped. He didn't ask about Grandma and Coco or Uncle Nate. Maybe he didn't want to. Maybe he already knew. At 8:04 p.m., after he fell asleep on the couch with a slice of pizza in his hand, like a tiny king, my phone pinged again. "Mom." A voice message this time, sharp, careless. "Don't make a big deal, Evan. He's 10. He'll barely remember." I stared at the ceiling and felt something cold and flat spread inside me. A new shape edged itself in. I didn't reply. I started counting the chairs to return, the cans to recycle, scraping frosting into the trash. I folded the banner into a shoebox with leftover candles. I put everything where it belonged. That's what I do. Always the fixer, the one who knows the Wi-Fi password, the tax deadline, everyone's favorite side dish. I was 21 when Dad walked out. Mom's words in the driveway. You're the man now. Not a pep talk, a job assignment. When Courtney started her last studio, I built a website and paid 6 months of hosting up front. She promised to repay me when profitable, breezy, like profit was a weather pattern. When Nate got a DUI at 25, I sat with him at court. I drove Mom to urgent care that winter when she had the flu. I Venmo'd Nate's rent, 3 separate months. Each time met with a chorus. Mom, family helps family. Courtney, you're doing amazing, sweetie. To me, it was always. Can you spot me till Friday? He never paid me back, but he bought new rims. So the lie attraction. The day Leo was born, I promised him myself. He would never sit at a party and wonder if his people cared. He would have cake, apology texts, adults who tried. Money was tight, but I made it work. Side gigs, selling my old guitar, thrifted cleats clean with a toothbrush until they gleamed. Meanwhile, my family's group chat looked like a travel blog. Wine tasting, silent retreats, Courtney's soft life era, Nate's grind set. I asked Mom once about weekly dinner. Sweetie, my calendar's full. Next month. Next month never arrived. But payday did. Little green bubbles, quick favors, emergency. Don't tell anyone I asked. Last fall, Courtney booked a girls' trip to Tulum. Called me at 11 p.m. the night before. My card got declined. Can you fix it? I'll pay you back Monday. Monday came and went. When I brought up, don't be petty, Evan. Money comes and goes. Memories are forever. In December, Mom sent a spreadsheet like a ransom note. Holiday gifts, names, items, price columns, color coding in bold. We should split equally. Equal met me because neither offered. I bought Leo a winter coat, a book. Mom got the mixer she'd wanted since spring. Courtney, a gift card. Nate, new trainers. My gift? Their silence at dinner. When I asked if anyone could bring dessert next time, 2 days after Leo's party, a new message in the family chat. All caps, exclamation marks, glitter emojis from Mom. RSVP by Wednesday. My niece's sweet 16. $2,100 per person. Venmo me. No, good morning. No, how was the party? Just the world's most unhinged wedding tier price slapped onto a teenager's birthday with the urgency of fire drill. PDF attached. Photo of cousin in a tiara. Ballroom with orchids cascading. A menu like a cruise ship brochure. Caviar bar. Interactive gelato artist. I stare at the number like it would blink into something sane. $2,100 per person. Then this line from Mom. We'll need Evan to cover Grandma's spot too. She's on a fixed income. There it was. The assumption like a reflex. My name is a wallet. No mention of Leo. Not even a meme. Just an invoice I never agreed to. 5 minutes later, Courtney chimed in. We're all in. OFC. Coco can't do less than premium. Also, can we do a group gift? Evan, can you coordinate? You're a spreadsheet guy. Nate, yo, do they have an open bar? If so, totally worth it. Evan, you got me in jest, right? I sat down my coffee and let it burn anyway. I typed no, then deleted it. Not because I didn't mean it, but because I needed to be careful. Words skim the surface with them, never sinking unless you anchor them to something heavy. I clicked on the PDF again, and my eye caught the sponsor page at the end. There, in tasteful script under gold patrons, was my full name, Honoring Family. I hadn't given $1. I hadn't been asked. Courtney had submitted it. I recognized the photo she used. It was stolen from my LinkedIn. My stomach did a slow, stubborn roll. I scrolled back to Saturday's messages, hoping I'd missed something. Maybe a "so sorry" buried under a meme. There wasn't. Just Courtney's brunch shot in Mom's voice note. The one where she said it was just a kid's party. Another text popped in. Mom. Also, I talked to venue. They need the deposit by Friday. I told them you'd handle it since you're the most organized. The deposit for a teenager's party that cost more than my car. Assigned to me like an errand. I picked up my phone to call her, then put it down. I didn't trust my voice to be soft enough to be heard. That evening, while Leo did homework at the table, kicking his feet, I printed the sponsor page and set it beside my grocery list. 2 columns, one for what I do, one for what they ask. Soccer fees, mine. Court filing fee for Nate's license reinstatement, mine. Website hosting, mine. Costco cake, mine. $2,100 per person. Theirs. Deposit, theirs. It's just a kid's party. Theirs. I stared at the paper until the ink felt dry enough to pick up. The next morning, Mom sent a follow-up. Evan, you're quiet. Don't be difficult. Your cousin is only 16 once. Everything inside me that had softened over the years started to harden. Not fire anger, ice anger. Clear, solid, decisive. There's always a small moment before the big one. For me, it was noticing my house key, the old brass one, still on my key ring. Mom had a copy. Courtney had borrowed it last month for an errand and never returned it. I looked at that key and realized my boundaries had been soft metal, too. That afternoon, I stopped by the hardware store. It happened in the family chat, because that's where they live. I waited for peak posting time. Late lunch, when everyone piles on. 1:17 p.m., all the bubbles at once. Courtney, a boomerang of iced coffee. Nate, Jim mirror selfie. Mom, forwarded prayer with glitter. I took a picture of the backyard from Saturday. The banner still taped to the fence. Empty folding chairs and a neat roll like a sermon. The cake box, corner missing, where slices were wrapped and frozen. I wrote, this was Leo's party. You said you'd come. I let it sit. Then the replies came in exactly as I knew they would. Courtney, why is stuff here? Text me. Mom, don't guilt us, Evan. We have lives. Saturdays are hard. Nate, bro, don't be a martyr. Kids don't care. I posted screenshots from 2 weeks ago. Mom will be there. Another. Courtney's Aunt Coco bringing party favors. Then brunch pictures, their faces in the corner. Caption my people. No commentary, just visuals. Facts have their own gravity. Silence. Then Mom again. Enough. We're focusing on the Sweet 16 now. I sent the link. The deposit is due Friday. Be an adult. I felt my pulse in my cheekbones. I typed slow, I am being adult. I am Leo's dad. Another pause. Courtney, don't make everything about your kid. I stared at those words until they blurred. Then I wrote, you didn't come to the birthday of your own nephew/grandson. A week later, you sent me a bill for $2,100 per person for a teenager I see twice a year. You put my name as a sponsor without asking. You told a venue I'd pay a deposit. You said I was difficult when I didn't answer fast enough. Here's my answer. No, I hit send. Before they could swarm, I opened Venmo, found Mom, and sent $1. Note, congratulations. 1 sentence. $1. A mirror held up to the absurd. Then I changed the locks. The hardware store guy had cut the keys. 10 minutes. The deadbolt turned smooth for the first time in years. When the new knob clicked shut, I felt a small click in my chest, too, like a safe closing on something valuable. I went through my phone and blocked numbers, not forever, not out of cruelty, but because I knew what was coming. The flood, the how dare you. After everything we've done, tearing the family apart, I needed quiet to hold the line. So I held it. At dinner, Leo asked for more broccoli and told a joke about a banana in a library. He didn't know his dad had just flipped a switch that would change our lives. Maybe he didn't need to know yet. What he needed was a dad who didn't flinch. By 8, the messages bounced off the wall I'd built. The last one landed before the block. Mom, you will regret this. Don't forget who raised you. I set my phone face down and took out the trash. The next day, Courtney posted a story, a glitter countdown sticker for the Sweet 16. 10 days. Gold patrons, we see you. My name glowed under it. Comments cheered. So generous. Family goals. I pulled up the venue page and sent a formal email. Removed my name from all materials immediately. I did not authorize sponsorship. Screenshots and receipts attached. CC to manager. Then I sent Mom and Courtney the same email from a new address they didn't have. So they'd read it through corporate fear. I slept hard for the first time in a long time. The kind of sleep that doesn't listen for footsteps. 2 days later, at 7:42 a.m., a knock at the door. Firm, not casual. I looked through the peephole. 2 officers. Morning. We're responding to a call, the taller one said, looking like a man who had seen too many dumb domestic storms. What kind of call? I asked evenly. Leo was still in pajamas. Cartoon half-watched, half-listened. Family member reported concerns. Said you were making threats. Said you had their property. Requested a welfare check for a minor. 3 birds with 1 stone. Paint me unstable. Accuse me of theft. Weaponized concern for my child. Efficient. Come in, I said, opening the door enough to show a clean living room, a kid on the couch, a bowl of cereal. We're fine. The officer stepped inside, polite scan mode. The shorter one nodded at Leo. Hey, buddy. Leo waved with a spoon. Can we talk in the kitchen? I asked. We moved a few feet. I kept the doorway in my peripheral vision. Years of responsibility make you host even under inspection. This is about my mother and sister. They didn't come to my son's birthday. They asked me to pay thousands for a cousin's party. I said no. I changed the locks. They don't like that word. The taller officer twitched a smile. They also put my name as a sponsor without consent. I emailed the venue to remove it. I have screenshots. I slid my phone across the counter. Photos, chats, the Venmo dollar, the venue email, sponsor page. Evidence stacks well when you live inside receipts. Any weapons in the house? He asked. Only butter knives, I said. And these Lego swords. He smirked. Any court orders? Custody stuff? No. Leo's with me. His mom isn't in the picture. We're okay. He glanced toward the living room. You're okay, buddy? Leo gave a solemn thumbs up. Property? The shorter one added. I blinked. What property? He read aloud. Caller stated I was holding a family heirloom necklace. Only necklaces here are made of macaroni. If she means the spare house key, I changed the locks yesterday. I can give you the old one if that makes this cleaner. We all looked at the key on the counter, like a prop in a bad play. The officers exchanged a look, then squared back to me. Here's the deal. Family gets used to the thing money, access, free labor. Someone changes the terms. Panic. They call us. We check, then write a report. No danger. That would be great. I said, shoulders dropping an inch. Do you want to log anything on your side? Yes. I pulled up the venue email and my written request to remove my name. I also want something on record that they put my name down for a financial commitment without consent and that I've asked them in writing to stop. Good. Paper trails help. Save everything. If anyone shows up here and won't leave, call us. Don't engage. They left a card and walked into daylight. I stood at the door with a weak, clear feeling you get after flu breaks. 10 minutes later, my new email pinged. We have removed your name from all printed and digital materials. We apologize for the oversight. One thread cut clean, and I finally exhaled. At noon, my aunt, Mom's older sister, who floats in and out like a reasonable ghost, texted from an unknown number. I heard what happened. I'm sorry. They're furious. Courtney's screaming about a ruined vision. Your mother is calling you ungrateful because she can't call you something worse. For what it's worth, I think you did the right thing. I didn't do anything. I typed, I stopped doing things. She sent a sad smile emoji. The only time I've ever liked one. The next 48 hours were a study in how a system tries to reboot. Courtney posted a long caption about toxic energy and people who can't be happy for others. She didn't use my name. She didn't need to. Her friends piled in with hearts, and you're a queen. The comments smelled like hairspray and denial. Nate texted from a new number, Jesus, man. Mom's crying. Can you just pay the deposit and we'll square up after? We're family. I blocked it. Mom left a voicemail on the landline I never use. This is your mother. You're not well. Family doesn't do this. You embarrassed us. You embarrassed me. She inhaled sharply. The police? Really? Her voice did that thing where it shakes when it's angry but wants to sound hurt. I held the phone away like it was hot. Then came the other side. Quiet messages from cousins I barely talked to. I saw the price. Are they serious? I'm sorry about Leo. That was awful. If you need extra chairs next year, we'll bring some. And the neighbor who'd loaned me the cooler knocked with a Tupperware of brownies. You fought the right fight, she said, like we were comrades. Maybe we were. That week, my house got lighter, not because the furniture changed, but because the air did. No waiting for a key to turn in a lock I didn't invite. No jumping whenever the phone buzzed. Even the fridge sounded different, like it had room to hum. Leo noticed the quiet in his own way. He asked, Are we mad at Grandma? I turned off the sink and dried my hands. We're not mad, I said carefully. We're disappointed, and we're taking a break. Like time out, kind of, except this is for grown-ups who forgot how to be kind. He nodded like that made sense. Kids get it faster than adults. 2 days before the Sweet 16, Mom tried a new tactic. The olive branch made of lead. She sent a mass text labeled apology. It wasn't an apology. It was a press release. Family is complicated. Sometimes schedules clash. We love Leo. We will make it up to him. The Sweet 16 is important because of business connections. This is an investment. Please support. Also, Evan has been under stress, so let's not push him. Thank you. Investments. Business connections. My kid was an afterthought behind a fake apology. I read it once and put my phone down. At 5 p.m., the venue called my new email again. Hi, Mr. Brooks. The manager said, brisk, we received a call from your mother stating you had recommitted to your sponsorship and would be paying the remaining balance. I wanted to verify before proceeding. She lied. I said, do not put my name anywhere. If she says my name again, send me the recording. A click of a keyboard. Understood. The night of the Sweet 16, I took Leo to the park. We shot free throws until the sky turned orange. His laugh ricocheted off the backboard, and I thought about how cheap joy is, until someone tries to invoice it. We got milkshakes on the way home. He lined up his action figures on the coffee table, and I let him watch a late movie. I didn't check my phone for a play-by-play of a party I would never see. I didn't want to know what centerpieces looked like when they were paid for with someone else's guilt. Sometime after 11, a final text slid through from Aunt Nora. They seated Grandma next to a fountain with dry ice and strobe lights. She said she couldn't see her food. Your sister spent half the night yelling at the florist, the DJ, the waiters. There was a moment when the bill came, and everyone stared at each other. No one made eye contact with your mother. I'm home now. I just wanted you to know you missed nothing. I set the phone on the table and watched my son fall asleep with chocolate on his lip. I wiped it away with my thumb and felt something open in my chest that wasn't anger, just space. In the quiet week that followed, my life rearranged itself the way a room does after you move a couch and realize it never belonged where it was. I told my boss I couldn't cover extra weekends for a while. He said, good, go be a dad. I put a sticky note on the fridge. Soccer camp scholarship deadline. I actually applied on time. I made a Google Drive folder called Receipts/Boundaries, and whenever a thought tried to argue with me, you're being harsh. You'll regret this. I dropped another screenshot into the folder. The thought fell silent. On Thursday, a card came in the mail with kid handwriting. Dear Leo, happy birthday. Sorry we couldn't come. My mom said we had to go to a different party. I wanted a cake with the pixels from Emma Neighbor. Backslash. There were $2 taped inside. He grinned like he'd found treasure. I took a picture of him holding it and sent it to nobody but my own future.